game character says about you.
Here comes a new challenger.
Rather Unique is a Sonic fan, and let me tell you something about them. Sonic fans are a special breed of stupid. Ask a Sonic fan about their mental health, and they'll reply, "What's that?" Soulsborne fans are often called masochists, but if you ask me, that'd be Sonic fans. No community has a more abusive relationship with their mascot as Sonic fans have with Sega. The good news though is that Sonic fans often partake in athletics to relieve some of that stress. See, most Sonic fans ran track and field, they were sprinters to be specific. It's just too bad they never won a race because they fail to realize chili dogs only speed up Sonic and not you. Sonic fans can deep throat 4 chili dogs in 4 seconds by holding them on their forearms. If you don't have a premium DeviantArt account, you're not a Sonic fan. If you've never wrote fan fiction, you're not a Sonic fan. If you've never said Sonic Unleashed is a good game, you know, the one with the werehog, you're not a Sonic fan. The easiest way to spot a Sonic fan is to ask them what's their favorite rap songs. They'll reply with Wild Canyon, Pumpkin Hill, Dive Into the Mellow, Deep Chamber, and Meteor Herd. But the most important thing to know about Sonic fans is they think this kid is normal.
Don't we? Another adventure title!
Here comes a new challenger.
Amir loves CJ from San Andreas, and if you're like Amir, allow me to download your life story. CJ fans' life story is similar to CJ's, and that's why they relate to him. They got sent away to live in another city for a better life. I mean, maybe one of your parents is in the military or they got a new job. Who knows? We just know for some reason you moved, which led to you moving on up like the Jeffersons. The difference is you never had an issue come up that forced you to go back to your old hood. You were the kid who went to school in the burbs, and all the kids loved you because they got to live vicariously through your limited hood stories. Little do these suburban kids know that 90% of what comes out of your mouth is a lie. Your parents moved you out the hood when you were 2. You don't even remember anything. You just retell the storyline of 50 Cent's Bulletproof video game, and the suburban kids eat it up because that game is old and they've never played it. You replay San Andreas at least once a year because you love to think about what if your family never made it out of the hood, as if that's a good thing. You say to yourself, you could have been going on hood adventures with that dingy wife beater like CJ. Basically, you're delusional and ungrateful. Every time you go back home for your family reunion, your cousins make fun of you, not because you grew up in the burbs, but because social media exists and they see all the cap you post online. You attend a nice art school 20 minutes from your house, so you had to take the subway. It's just too bad you always late to class because you missed the train like your hero CJ.
Here comes a new challenger.
Big Steppa's favorite character is Dante from Devil May Cry, and Dante fans all have certain traits in common. Here's what you need to know. How you spot a Dante fan is just print out an image of the black-haired Dante from the failed reboot DMC. Now, if that person you show loses their shit, yeah, that's a dead giveaway there, Dante fans. See, Dante fans hate dark-haired Dante more than they hate soap. And yes, you heard that correctly. Dante fans don't wash their ass regularly. There's no time when you have to get a triple S rank for your combos. See, Dante fans are the guys who show up to a paintball session with a custom AK-47 paintball gun and a ghillie suit. You own several shelves, but you won't find any books on them shelves because they can't read. You will only find thousands of figurines on them shelves, even though they haven't paid their rent. Dante fans cuss like sailors and they wear trench coats in the summer, but then they wonder why nobody trusts them. Did I mention when they're not getting combos in the game, you can catch they fat ass at a fast food drive ordering a combo meal?
Here comes a new challenger.
Sai says he loves Bayonetta, and I'm sure many of you are going to assume it's because she's a sexual character. That's one of the reasons people love her, but I'll get to that later. One of the secret reasons people love Bayonetta is because they're a misandrist who hates men. They would never be caught dead playing with Dante. Bayonetta fans love to torture themselves. I mean, why play Devil May Cry when you could play the female version of it at 22 frames per second on the Nintendo Switch's 2-hour battery? Bayonetta is a witch, so naturally her fans practice witchcraft too. That means Bayonetta fans are either Haitian or Dominican, and don't get on a Bayonetta fan's bad side because they will write your name on a piece of paper and then throw it under a running lawnmower hoping you feel the cuts. Bayonetta fans, they're definitely perverts. The weirdest kind of perverts too. They do the unlimited money hacks in GTA Online, so they'll always have money to sit in GTA 5 strip club. They be in GTA 5 strip club trying to order wings. Like, bro, it's a fucking game. Calm down.
Here comes a new challenger.
Big Mike is the biggest Waluigi fan, and let me tell you something about them. People who are fans of Waluigi definitely are the middle child. They suffer from all the symptoms of middle child syndrome. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this, according to WebMD, symptoms of middle child syndrome include rebellious. They're also less likely to be religious than their siblings and parents. They're mobile. They're most likely to move the farthest away, and this stems from their feelings of being misunderstood by their family, and they often feel overshadowed. They come to believe their parents don't care about them. Looking back as adults, they'll express a negative view of their childhood. Now, I know that last symptom hit the hardest for Waluigi fans. The feeling of being overshadowed is the biggest reason you love him. You can relate to that. Waluigi first debuted in the original Mario Tennis that was released in the year 2000. It has been over 20 years, and that man still doesn't have his own video game. Outside of being the evil doppelganger for Luigi, nobody can tell me anything about his personality. The same goes for Waluigi fans. If you went missing today, your friends would have a hard time describing you to the police tomorrow when they file for a missing person report. Nobody trusts Waluigi fans too because they have that weird mustache just like their hero. It's 2023 and they still rock that curly slave master mustache and then wonder why nobody wants to be in a room with them alone. Waluigi fans tend to have that tall, lanky build like Waluigi. They're the guy who claims they've been lifting weights for the last 3 years, but they still can't fill out a small tank top. Now, as far as your favorite show, it's definitely Malcolm in the Middle. They think Dewey ran away and then eventually became that rapper Slim Jesus when he grew up. Now, as far as the living situation goes, Luigi lived in a mansion, so understand when it comes to Waluigi fans, their living situation is the opposite. They pay $5,000 a month to live in a 200 square apartment where the kitchen is in the bathroom.
Here comes a new challenger.
Simus says he loves Samus, and I think I know why. Matter of fact, Simus is such a perv, his tweet reveals why. Out of all the images you could have chose, you chose a gif of the original Metroid when it's revealed at the end she's a girl and she's in a bikini. I know this man follows every Zero Suit Samus cosplayer on Earth. It doesn't matter if shoddy white, black, Latina, Asian, or whatever. If you cosplay a skin-tight Zero Suit Samus, he wants to eat your cookie like famous Amos. Samus fans, when they were kids, they wanted to be an astronaut, but they never made it to space because they were too busy invading people's space with their stench. Now, if the Samus fan is a woman, they're definitely a cat lady, and their favorite thing to do is put a GoPro on the cat's head and then watch the footage back like they play in Metroid Prime.
Here comes a new challenger.
Quee loves Diddy Kong, and if you haven't heard about Diddy Kong fans, then let me tell you about them. When they're not begging for Diddy Kong Racing 2 on Reddit, they can be found in the gym on the weight machines because they too pussy to use the free weights. Then they wonder why they small like Diddy and not big like Donkey Kong. Diddy Kong fans don't know what a fitting shirt looks like. They have the same 3 shirts for the past 5 years that have shrunk in the dryer, so they belly hangs out like they hero. Their favorite anime is Dragon Ball, and you would think Goku, Vegeta, or Gohan is their favorite monkey, but nope, it's Tarball because he's small and cute. Diddy Kong fans can't do math. They claim they want to be a pilot like them, but they can't afford pilot school, so instead they spend hundreds on a flight stick to play Microsoft Flight Sim in a 4x4 apartment.
Here comes a new challenger.
Lady Explosion loves Cameo from the Xbox 360. Talk about a deep cut. Now, if you're a Cameo fan, you're definitely someone who can't let go of the past. You're the type to hold grudges over the smallest things. You love Cameo because you're indecisive. I mean, look at your favorite character. She can't decide if she a woman, a snow yeti, or a fucking plant. You know deep down you will never get a sequel, so you pray Cameo gets a cameo in another video game. If you love Cameo, your mother looks like the troll at the top of the game's box art. And one of their favorite things to say, Cameo fans, they love to say, I missed the original Xbox 360's Fan Blade UI. But the funniest thing about them is, Cameo was a launch title, but you most likely did not play it at launch. See, your family was poor and they could only afford an Xbox 360 years later into its lifespan, so when it came time to get a game, you did a Michael Phelps deep dive into the bargain bin where you found a $5 copy of Cameo. You're also a shitty YouTuber who produces bootleg death battles, and your most popular video to date is a Cameo versus Tinkerbell death battle with a whopping 69 views. The following video drew inspiration from you, the viewer. TBH asked you what were some of your favorite characters, and these were some of the submissions. So if you'd like to appear in a future video, be sure to follow TBH on Twitter at the Black Hokage. There will be a link in the description box below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to click the card on the screen and check out my previous video on what your favorite character says about you. It's similar to this one, and it'll make you laugh. So do me a favor favor and click the card on the screen because our brother needs some watch time.